Hello everyone, this is Himanshu Khare and let's have a discussion on functions in SQL. So before moving forward, let me tell you one thing that I have divided discussion over functions into three parts. One session is there for the theoretical discussion and two sessions are there for the practical demonstration. So let's begin. SQL functions. As you are knowing that functions are the quite common term in the programming language, whether it's application programming or query language. So what the SQL functions are, these are the subprograms that can be used, reused again and again for manipulating and processing data. SQL is having a rich library, means it is having lots of inbuilt functions that can be used for different purposes like string manipulations, mathematical applications, dazed operations, and text-based functions. Functions are usually defined to perform a particular task. Usually they take the data from the user or they take the data from a table and compulsorily return a value, single value. Functions can be broadly categorized into two parts: single row functions and multi-row, also known as group functions. What the single row functions are? These are the functions that take one data at a time as input and return one value as output. Like ucase, that's uppercase, power, in-string function, and many more functions are there that works as a single row function. Group functions. What group functions do? They take the data from a table as a whole, means it takes the multiple rows as a single input and try to return a single value as an output. Sum, average, minimum, maximum, count, standard deviation, these are the examples of group functions. Single row function. Suppose this is the table data I have for a particular table name student and he's having 6 columns. So two examples are given. In the first example, this lcase function is applied over single value. In the second example, this lcase function is applied over column of a table. In the first example, you can see it's a jumbled case of information, means it contains capital and small case alphabets and everything is converted into lowercase alphabets by applying lcase function. In the second example, once this lcase function is applied for the column student name of this table student, you can observe these 5 row data is being converted into small case alphabets names. So this is the task of a single row function lcase. It takes one input at a time for each row and returns one output for each and every row. Hence 5 input and 5 output. Group functions, as I said, group functions once applied over a table data, no matter how many values are given as an input, we will have single output. This sum function is an example of group function. It is applied over the column student fees, which is the last column of the table, and what we are getting as the answer, the sum of the values, which is 14,700. So this is the example of group function. So CBSE has given a task to go through with a list of single row functions. So let's have a discussion with all of them. Starting with numerical functions, we will move on with string based function and date functions. Power. So what the power function do, it try to return the value x raised to the power y. Means if the power function is applied for 3, 4, it means 3 raised to the power 4. Hence the answer comes as 81. Round. The round function is used to round off the value according to the mathematical rules. This round function takes 2 arguments separated by comma. In the first argument, the value is given, and the second argument is the number of digits you need to round off the value. For example, in this case, 15.4786, 2 means in the answer you are having 2 digits after the decimal point, and third digit, that is 8, is used to round up the number. And since it is either 5 or more, the previous digit is being rounded off to the next number, hence the answer comes 15.48. There can be a possibility that the second argument in this function comes as a negative value. Hence, we have to use the left part of the number, that is the digits left to the decimal point, to round off. Here in this case, the second argument is -1, so the value 5 is being used to round off, and the answer comes as 20. Moving 1 to 2, hence the answer comes as 20. Third function is mod. We try to put the remainder between the two numbers. So if you try to divide 10 by 3, the remainder comes as 1, hence the answer is 1. U-case, uppercase, or upper function, you can easily guess what this function can do. It is trying to convert the lowercase information into uppercase alphabets. The vice versa function, L case or lower, it converts the uppercase information into lowercase. Mid function and substring function works in the similar fashion. Suppose if you, from a given string, if you want to extract a particular set of characters from a specific location, you can apply these functions. In this case, from third location, if you want to extract 5 characters, you can apply in this way. So from third location, that is from F, it will extract 5 alphabets. Length, it returns the length of the input string, hence information gives 11. Left function returns the number of characters from the given string. It means if you want to extract number of characters, in this case 4, so from the given string it will extract those many characters, hence the answer coming is as info. Right function returns number of characters from the string. So from information it's extracting 4 alphabets from the right side, hence the answer is coming as TION. In-string function. In-string function is used to find out the location of a particular alphabet in the given string. For example, in this word information, if you want to find out the location of I, the answer is coming as 1. There might be a possibility where alphabet is having multiple occurrences in the given string. In that case, the first occurrence will be returned as a function output. Next is trim. It is used to trim the leading and trailing spaces or the specific alphabet that you want to remove. Suppose while filling up the form, a user has given spaces as a leading or trailing one. You can remove this by applying trim function. In L-trim, it will remove the left side spaces, and in the right R-trim function, it will remove the spaces from the right side, keeping the left spaces intact. Now the date function. Now it returns the current date and time. So if you apply now, it will return you the date and time combination in the American format. Year, month, date, hour, minutes, and seconds. Date. If you are having a date and a full expression, from that it can extract the date part and it can give you the result like this. Month. From the given date, if you want to extract the month part, you can apply the month function. And if you need the month name, you can apply the month name function. So the answer is coming as April. Year. From the specific date, it can extract the year part, and the answer coming is 2020. Day function can find out the month date of the month. So the answer is coming as 15. And the last function is day name. It returns the name of the weekday for the specified date. So for this date is coming as Wednesday. So these are the single row functions we have. Now the turn comes for the group functions. So we have to go through with 5 specified functions, that is max, min, average, sum, and count. What the max do, it will try to return the maximum of the values under the column it is being specified for. Suppose it is having a column is having around 10 to 15 values, or no matter how many values are there, it will return the maximum from those values. Similarly, minimum function will return the minimum of the values under the specified column. Average function will sum up the values and it will divide those values with number of non-none values. Fourth function is sum. It will return the sum of the values under the specified column. And count returns the number of values under the specified column or expression. This count function is something special. It can be applied in two ways. Let's see how the count function behaves. Suppose if you apply the count with star, you may have one type of result. If you apply count with the column name, you may have another type of result. This is possible because that particular column can have null values. So here comes the special behavior of group functions with null values. Null values are totally ignored in cases of aggregate functions. Once again, I'm repeating. Aggregate functions totally ignore null values present in a particular column. Means suppose a column is having total 7 values and out of 7 values, 2 values are nulls. In that case, count star can give 7, but count column name can give 5. Keeping all the null values intact in the table but not at all be counted. And this is not the case with count function. All the group functions behaves in the same manner in the presence of null values. Once again, let's have a quick review of the single row and multi-row functions. Single rows functions are the ones that takes single value and return one output per row, and the group functions are the one that takes group of rows and return one single result for the complete set of rows. Thank you. Thank you, students, and I hope that you will see the sessions in the coming tutorials for the practical, and I hope that you will follow the practicals on your systems as well. Thank you.